Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Super Cool Radio. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am super excited to chat with my guest this time. He needs no introduction, but I will give him one anyway. Please welcome the lead vocalist for Alien Ant Farm, Dryden Mitchell.
Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Dude, it is awesome to have you on the podcast. I can't believe I saw you guys back in 2019 in Tinley Park. It was
Okay.
You guys, Everclear, and I think Bowling for Soup.
I remember that show specifically for sure. You know, I mean, it's a kind of an odd bill, so I will remember that one.
It was, but I mean, it was still such a very fun time. So it's great to have you on the podcast and chat with you.
No, and by odd bill, I love it. You know, we kind of get, well, who knows where to put Alien Ant Farm? It's like we can kind of brush up against metal, we can brush up against super pop, anyway, so who knows what an odd bill is with us? I think we just make the odd bill.
For sure, but it's so cool how versatile you guys are, that you can have different shows with different bands and still make it work.
Yeah, for sure. We got invited to a lot of the like metal festivals in Europe last year, and I was like, all right, buck up, bro. You gotta like kind of, arrange your set so you're not getting a battery thrown at you or something. So we got to kind of make it a little more heavy, and the fans were super cool, man. I feel like we can kind of swim in those waters and not offend anyone too much. So yeah, it was interesting.
Oh, for sure. And well, no batteries being thrown at you guys either. But I do want to talk, obviously, very big news for you guys. You got the new single. You guys are working on an album. So I did want to dive into Reasons. That was the new single. So what was like your reaction when you approached to record this?
We did a demo of it that sounded very kind of Weezer-esque, and we ended up kind of ditching that and just went for straight, I don't know, just basically no bullshit rock version of that, which I still want to put out that Weezer-esque demo somewhere down the future, because it has some charm in it that maybe people will be like, whoa, that's a trippy little take on it. So yeah, that's floating around in our hard drive somewhere, you know what I mean?
Well, that would be so cool to listen to, just to see the kind of like, from what the single that was released versus that kind of Weezer version. It'd be very interesting to see it. For
sure.
But so kind of going along with that, so how's it been working with Judge and Jury?
It's been cool. We've done, I think, 4 songs vocally are finished, 4 songs completely are finished. 4 more musically are done, so that's 8 that I haven't jumped on yet. I've been on the phone with Howard the last couple of days trying to hash out, find a time that's right for both of us, do a couple rewrites here and there, really kind of just hone it and see if we can turn, some of the more eclectic feeling songs. The world I come from maybe is more cryptic, and I think he's just wanting to turn over every stone and see if we can make hits out of some of these songs that I might not necessarily be thinking of on hit terms. I just kind of throw out what I throw out,
Oh, for sure. So kind of going along with that, so obviously, as I said, you guys are working on a new album. Can you give any hints of like what people can expect?
Without sounding like I don't have an answer, I'm curious myself, because it's still shaping itself out. I haven't heard any mixes other than Reasons, and so I know the songs, like, we are leaning pretty like guitar riff rock heavier than Reasons. I feel like, besides, there might be one song that I guess is quote unquote like a ballad that the working title for right now is called Fragile Boy. I think maybe that was just making fun of how mellow it really was, but I think it's called Another Life. Actually, we might call it Another Life. But other than the ballad and Reasons, it's pretty. I'd like to think that there's some heavy swinging riffs in there, and it sounds punchy as hell in my car. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. Maybe we'll get invited back to some of these metal festivals with the way these riffs are shaping up.
All right. Well, I'm very excited to see, with you guys, with your albums and stuff, you don't have like a set sound as we were kind of talking about earlier. You guys,
sometimes to our own detriment. But I feel like a lot of bands have this huge gamut of influences, but sometimes they don't leak into the music. And I feel like we're kind of from Sade to Slayer, and we're throwing it into the music to where it's like, wait up, what are these guys? What are they doing? I personally love that about Ant Farm. Sometimes it can be confusing to certain people. I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate that we can kind of turn the page real fast. And if we go down a Latin road or go down a ballad road, we sell it, and we don't just like rub up against it. I think we really kind of go down the rabbit hole and make it honest and true.
Oh, for sure. And you guys like don't like half-ass anything. Like you guys are genuine to yourselves. You release the music that that you guys connect with and your audience connects with too. That's why I've been a fan of you guys for many years, of just the different kind of sounds and styles you guys have like explored throughout all the albums.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you.
Of course. So I'm kind of curious. So like from your catalog and discography, like this is a question I've been asking my guests this season, just because I'm very curious for you as a songwriter and a musician. How do you know when a song is complete?
Oh man, that's a cool question. I sometimes tinker. When we did the Mantras record, which was our last one, I was shifting parts. I was all about I was that 50 take guy, I would do 50 takes of vocals, and I'd start carving them up and listening for each little inflection. And sometimes it's in the grand scheme, it's no one's going to care about this, dude. When's it time to kind of put the thing down, which is a good question. It depends on the song and the mood and everything, Me personally, I would love to I just noticed you got a Kaleido shirt on. That's pretty dope.
I do, yes.
Yeah,
we're good friends of mine.
Yeah, that's cool. We've not to say that we brought them out, but we brought them out a lot, quite a bit on runs, and they're just such good people, and they're such a rad band. Sorry, Mom. Let's just make the whole interview about Kaleido now. I would rather do that, to be honest.
I do have a Kaleido question that I was going to ask you.
Okay.
So they talked about in my last interview, I believe about a year and a half ago, that you guys are playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Crocodile Dentist in a green room before a show. Will we see a rematch with those two games in Kaleido versus Alien Ant Farm?
Anything they want to do, yes. If they're down, then I'm down. But I love Joey, Christina, those guys are just super good people, and they deserve everything that I'm always rooting for those guys, man. I want to see them jump further than they have, and they've come up leaps and bounds since we first met. They've just grown, but I want to see them level up. I want to see us level up as well. But I'm always rooting for Kaleido, man. It's just they're great guys and great band.
Oh, they definitely are, and they are some of the nicest people that I've met and interviewed, and they work incredibly hard, and it's cool to see. I went to their first show that I saw them was 2019, and just see that progress in the last 7 years has just been incredible, and how hard they work behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. They're always churning out, just trying music, and that's huge. They're just throwing stuff at the wall, man. And it's not to say it's not good. I don't mean whatever, but they just I'm oh my God, they got a new thing. They got a new thing. And it's that's the best thing you can do is they're distracting themselves with their own work, which is awesome.
Oh, it definitely is. And just the music, especially I noticed in the last couple 5 to 10 singles they've released, it's always something a little bit different. You never know what to expect, between Run, The Dark Hurts, everything. It could be more rock and roll based. It could be more close to metal based. Talking with you, similar to you guys, they're very versatile.
I agree. And maybe in a weird subconscious way, we rubbed off on them in the sense of like, don't go down that just whatever if you're a style, like fuck the style. It's like all about that one song in that one moment, you know, and who cares if it's got elements of, I don't know, you know, the song sounds like Stephen Bishop, this song sounds like Sade, this song sounds a little Slayer riffage. I don't know. It's like let's borrow where we can.
Oh, definitely. So, well, I know you guys have, toured and performed with them. I would like to see at some point another Kaleido Alien Ant Farm tour.
Yeah. Maybe we do a song together. We did one song a while back, and anyways, yeah, maybe we'll definitely link up for shows.
Oh, definitely. I would like to see, like, I've seen obviously you guys and Kaleido separately. I'd love to see you guys live again at some point. Just get back on track a little bit with Alien Ant Farm. I got a few more things before we close out this interview. So I'm curious for you, like with Alien Ant Farm's kind of lengthy catalog and discography, it's probably a challenging question, but I'm very curious for you. What has like been the album that you are most proud of?
Mantras, the last one we did for sure. You know, it was like kind of, I stepped away halfway through it. I was drinking a lot, not really digging the position in life I was in. And I straight up just kind of stepped away from Ant Farm, the record, kind of stepped away from just everything I was doing so I could just stop drinking. And so aside from it just being solid, I love it. I did most of my vocals myself, which I really just felt was like personal and awesome. I kind of dig doing that. I'd love to do it again. So I have a few things tied to the record that maybe make me love it right now. It's not to say it's the best Ant Farm record. And there's little bits from Truant that we did with the DeLeo brothers from Stone Temple Pilots where I have beautiful memories, and there's such great moments in that record. Anthology being our freshman debut kind of thing is just like all bangers. I can't believe how solid that record was for us being like little dopey kids from Riverside, California. You know, it's like that's a garage record in a weird way, and it sounds so just not what you would think of when you think of a garage record, you know. And so yeah, there's little bits from everything, but Mantras right now is my record of choice, and it sounds so beautiful and sonic, and we had good people around us. This friend of ours, this woman named S.J. Jones, and Lucas D'Angelo from Paris, France mixed it, and it was just like, it just kind of had to be done, and I think we did it perfectly. All the songs are lyrically great, and I just love it. I love listening to it. I don't listen to a lot of Ant Farm, so Monsters I throw on every once in a while.
Oh, that's really cool. I appreciate you sharing kind of the, a little bit of the backstory of that album. And I will say, like, it has, like, that album has a different vibe. I'm not talking like sound, because we kind of covered the Alien Ant Farm sound, but it has like a different vibe compared to like other Alien Ant Farm albums. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's newer times, newer perspective. Again, like half that record I was fucked up on, and then the second half of that record I was like clean and sober and kind of coming from a different writing place, coming from a different energy. Not to say even when I was hammered, I like the performances on all the records. You know, who knows what was going on in my crazy drunk brain at that time, but you're right. Like Mantras has a different vibe, and I like it. It's all the bit of Ant Farm, and it's like a little more mature, a little more thought out, I think, and that's what I dig about it.
Oh, for sure. Now, I did want to ask, just touching on the live performance side just a little bit. Another might be a challenging question, but I'm very curious for you. With all the shows you guys have performed at, like, do you have a favorite Alien Ant Farm song to perform live?
Sticks and Stones is a good one, and I like a song called Attitude, which is a mellow song, but it's this weird emotional thing that happens for me, at least. Like it doesn't feel like a mellow song when we do it live. It just feels real raw and badass, and I love it. It was never like a big known public song, and I feel like everyone knows it because, at least in the smaller venue shows where it's just Ant Farm fans, it's almost like that single that never was, you know what I mean? It's the most sung out loud song, I'd have to say, aside from, Smooth Criminal or Movies. And so, yeah, that one. And Courage is always great. We kind of always tend to open with it. It's the first track off of Anthology. It's like the first track that anyone maybe heard that was true Amp Farm. You know, Smooth Criminal isn't really this weird hybrid on its own. But so, yeah, Courage is another weird one because you can almost, I can gauge what the show's going to feel and be like from that first impression, you know, of kind of kicking it off. So, yeah, Courage is a fun one. It's like a temperature gauge for a show, you know. They're like, all right, Courage, these guys going to be rad with us, or are they going to like bum out on us? That's, you know, it's okay. Either one's okay by me. You can bum out on us.
Well, I know when I saw you guys that, you know, it's funny you mentioned Courage and Attitude. Those are actually my two favorite Alien Ant Farm songs. So getting to hear those live was just so much fun.
I know what's up, dude. I know how you feel.
Oh, for sure. So now, as we're starting to close out this interview, Dryden, it's been awesome hanging out, chatting with you.
Yeah, sorry. This is a cool. I hope it's not too distracting, but I promised my daughter and son we were coming to the beach today, and it happened to collide with collide, no pun intended. It happened to collide with a few phone interviews, and I'm happy to do them and happy to be here. Happy that these guys, we finally made it, huh, guys? We made it.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I don't want to take too much of your time. I got one final question before we head out. So what are the plans for Alien Ant Farm for the rest of 2026?
Our calendar's pretty full, man, you know, so I watch these little notifications on my phone where our manager has a tour grid, basically a grid of all of our a map of all of our shows coming up, and I kind of, in the back of my head, sometimes I don't look at it, but I hear the dings and I hear the tour grid update, and I'm like, oh no. I'm always happy to go out there, but I'm like, man, it looks like it's getting a little beefy, you know. We're about time to get out there and start playing some shows, which I do love. But it's like, for me, 49 years old, it's a lot of energy. It's not even the shows mostly. It's like that travel, dude. And it's like traveling, you're doing nothing, but at the same time, I don't know how it wipes out so much of your energy to just be sitting in a Sprinter or on a plane. You know what I mean? I'm sure many people can kind of relate. I'm not trying to complain. I love my job, but I'm not looking forward to the travel part of it. I'm looking forward to the shows.
Oh, yeah, no, traveling is definitely, so, you know, it does take a lot out of people. I think, I forgot who said, I think Alice Cooper said, it's not the 2 hours you get paid on stage, it's the 22 hours that it takes to get there.
Yeah, well, fuck, man, Alice Cooper. I'm a pussy because that guy is probably in his late 70s now, 80s, and he's still crushing it, and I'm complaining on the beach. I'm such a pussy. I'm such a pussy.
That's going to be people's takeaway from this interview now.
Dryden's a big, fat, wet puss.
Well, on that note, I don't know how we could follow that up. So, Dryden, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll leave some links for Alien Ant Farm Descriptions podcast. Please check out, support them. Be on the lookout for everything they have in the works. Make sure to see them live as well. But for Dryden Mitchell of Alien Ant Farm, I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.